Hey everyone, and welcome to Comic Breakdown. Now we're going to be getting into the last video of Future State for this week, and that video is Future State, Superman of Metropolis, issue number 2. Now this will be closing out Superman of Metropolis, and it does have the bonus added features at the end with the little mini stories of Jonathan Kent, Guardian, and Mr. Miracle. And all of those we're going to be covering in their own separate video. But for this story, we're picking up with Jonathan Kent, and he's taken over Superman of Metropolis while his father, Clark Kent, is somewhere in space, and we know him to be on Warworld now with Mongol. But what's happened here is that Jonathan Kent shrunk down Metropolis in an effort to protect it, because he was so afraid of not living up to his father's shadow and being able to do what needed to be done for Metropolis. And a variation of Brainiac called Braincells has now taken it off to space. And so now him and his cousin Kara have to try to stop it. And with that being said, let's dive into this issue. Alright, so diving into Superman of Metropolis issue number 2, we pick up in Braincells' spaceship in space. Superman on the ship, looking around, seeing that the ship has changed since his father was last on it. Some planets couldn't be saved, but their trees and soil could. And so the ship has really been turned into like a giant greenhouse, if you will. A place where all these plants can live and thrive and continue to exist without anything coming to harm them. And Superman is really losing his cool. And he lets him know, like, the only thing that should be scared of me right now is you. And this is where Superman just loses it. We see him really start to succumb to his anger, because he feels like it's his job to be the protector of Metropolis, and he is dramatically failing here. And Braincells is simply saying, I'm going to protect Metropolis in a way that you never could. Look what you've already done. You encapsulated Metropolis because of your fear of being unable to protect it. Do you really think Clark would do that? And this is where he says, let's ask him. And he brings out tons and tons of clones. Faceless Supermen from all different timelines. And really, they all start just berating him, letting him know how they would never do this, how they would sacrifice themselves for the greater good, and how he's being selfish, and how he's not living up to the Superman mantle, that he's being downright shameful. And then this is where we pick up at the Fortress of Solitude. And Superwoman, after being knocked out, grabs the size gun and heads towards John as fast as she can, hoping only that she can make it in time. And this is where we pick back up on the spaceship, and Superman is beating the crap out of all of these clones, to the best of his ability anyway, but they seem to be overpowering him. And as this is all happening, he asks why, and Braincells tells him, I told you, his mission was programmed for him. It was to make humans better, and he will not stop until they are. And so this is all trying to teach him a lesson. And he tells all of the Supermen, if Jonathan can't learn his lesson, kill him. And so all the Supermen charge at him. But this is where he gets an idea. And he runs up to Braincells and grabs his core and pulls that core out. And this causes an energy blast of ridiculous proportions. And then we pick up in space with Superwoman getting closer and closer. But Brainiac shoots a beam from the ship and it hits her right in the chest. But she gets up without a problem, dodges another one, blocks another, only for the size gun to get completely obliterated. And now she is pissed, because now she doesn't have to be nice, and she's gonna let loose. Meanwhile, inside the ship, Jonathan is using the Neurodium to be able to counter all of these clones, because their Kryptonians are susceptible to it. So these clones are going to get absolutely obliterated. And he uses this as a projectile and blasts all of these Supermen, and it's over in an instant. And then we see the arrival of Superwoman, and she apologizes to John for getting out of hand, for getting angry, for punching him, for calling him weak. And he lets her know, you were right. And she's very cocky. She's just like, yeah, I know I was right. I'm just, I'm doing it as a gesture, more or less, to extend some kind of peace here. And so with that, Superman takes Metropolis and heads home, with Superwoman staying behind to work with Braincells to make the guy's size gun operational again. And getting to where Metropolis is supposed to be, we see the city go from point A to point B, and it's back where it belongs. And John realizes, like, he made a mistake, and he can't change how the people are gonna take it. Space-time makes hours into months, so months of their lives they've lived with uncertainty. No one to look up to. I'm sorry isn't going to be enough, or even a single gesture. His dad was Superman for the entire world. These people need more than that. They need a commitment. He owes Metropolis an apology, but so much more. He knows they're mad, and they should be. He was so scared to let them down that he left them. He shrunk them and made them smaller than he was. But Braincells and the army are gone. Trojan is gone, and all that's left is Superman. And he understands that the people may never trust him again because he made a mistake of thinking they were in his care, but he's wrong. He is in theirs. And though his dad served the universe, he serves the people of Metropolis. And from this day forward, he will be their Superman, day in and day out, no matter how hard it gets. Because he is Jonathan Kent, and he is the Superman of Metropolis. And that will be where this issue ends. And that will be closing out Superman of Metropolis as a whole. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Personally, it was okay. I'm not going to say it was amazing. I think this could have been done a little bit longer. It felt a little bit rushed. This is supposed to be like a Brainiac knockoff, more or less. So if he even has a fraction of Brainiac's ability or intelligence, we're going to see something much longer drawn out. Not something as easy as, I'm going to pull the core out and we call it a day. I really do like seeing this different version of Superman. It's really enjoyable to see a Superman that can succumb to his emotions, that isn't necessarily robotic when it comes to being able to keep those things in check. He succumbs to his anger, to his sadness, to his fears, and he's slowly but surely learning not to do this anymore. And this was one of his big steps. And just like in the Wonder Woman issue we just covered, you know, heroes make mistakes. But that's what defines them, is how they answer them, how they learn from them, how they become better from them. That's what makes them legends. That's what drives them to be more, to be better, to be greater than what they are. But yeah, let me know what you guys think down in the comments. If you haven't checked out Comic Breakdown and More podcasts yet, go ahead and check that out. It's available on Spotify, iTunes, wherever you get your podcasts, as well as the link in the description. We drop new episodes every Friday covering everything from comics to WandaVision, anything really pop culture that we want to talk about, we're going to be talking about. Also, if you live in the Medford, Oregon area, be sure to check out Rogue City Comics. And last but not least, if you want to support this channel, either subscribe and like this video or check out my Patreon. There's a link in the description. I got tons of exclusive merch, awesome stuff that you guys will be very interested in checking out. And with that being said, until the next video.